Hello and welcome to Curmudgeon Media. My name's Tom and this is Filmbytes. Filmbytes is my platform to talk about a specific aspect of a specific film or TV series. That could be anything from a particular scene or sequence, a piece of music, a specific actor, you name it. It's a bite-sized little examination, and today I want to take a look at the seminal 1998 anime Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop is set in 2071, long since the Earth has been rendered uninhabitable. Humanity has scattered, frantically colonizing planets and asteroids, and law enforcement is ineffectual, if not corrupt. For this reason, bounty hunting is a highly active profession in the future, as demonstrated by our 4 bounty hunter protagonists, Jet Black, Faye Valentine, Radical Edward, and Spike Spiegel. Specifically, I'd like to take a quick look at the final scene of Cowboy Bebop episode 18, Speak Like a Child. But before we dig in, a little context is necessary. One of the most crucial themes in Cowboy Bebop is trauma. Spike is haunted by his past life as a mob enforcer, Jet by the corrupt police force he left behind, but in a twist of this formula, Faye is haunted by her lack of a past, a severe case of amnesia blurring any memory before she was mysteriously awoken from cryosleep. So Jet, Spike, and Faye are all at least a little traumatized, carrying the weight of their pasts in a way that cripples them emotionally. Simply put, these characters are emotionally stagnant. We frequently see them fail to grapple with or express their emotions in healthy ways, and this is especially poignant in Speak Like a Child. In the beginning of the episode, the crew receive a videotape addressed to Faye while she's out. Forced to pay the cost of delivery in Faye's absence, Jet becomes immediately frustrated when she refuses to reimburse him. And so, Jet and Spike set about a little adventure to find an appropriate device to play the tape, and they do all of this out of pure spite. There are a few twists and turns, but the important thing is that they get what they need to play the tape by the end of the episode. Let's take a look at what happens next.
If you want to watch, you have to pay the COD charges.
Alright, then I won't see it.
First of all, Jet bars Faye from seeing the tape without paying the cost of delivery. Obviously, she refuses because she's broke, but this little bit of bickering is an important detail. The crew of the Bebop bicker constantly. The very first dialogue of the very first episode is bickering. It's part of how they uphold emotional walls from one another. The squabbling is so constant that the very, very few times one of these characters actually apologizes to another, it's met with genuine surprise.
I'm sorry.
You're sorry?
The entirety of episode 18 is just spite, and it's important to acknowledge that the emotional walls are very much still up at the beginning of the sequence. But when they hit play, something extraordinary happens. The tape is a time capsule sent from young Faye to her future self. The version of her they see is so happy and free of cynicism, so unlike what we've seen thus far. There are 2 lines of dialogue I'd like to draw attention to specifically. The first is,
Knowing me, I'm sure you're causing all kinds of trouble for lots of different people. I'm sorry, I don't mean to.
in stark contrast to the cynical squabbling we see at the beginning of the scene, this is a moment of emotional openness and honesty that these characters are normally so unable to express. This is an apology that Faye, Jet, and Spike are presently too psychologically damaged to say. But here, in this moment, the bickering stops. We cut to Spike and Jet respectively, and the look on their faces shows us that the emotional walls have come down. It's a look of understanding and sadness and resolution, and seriously, these facial expressions just kill me, I swear to God. But it's important to remember that what makes this brief moment of emotional openness so special is that they've been conditioned through years of jadedness to put up those defenses, to be sullen and cynical. With that in mind, I'd like to draw your attention to the next most important quote of the scene.
Good morning, me. Did you sleep well? Did you wake up feeling good? Do the light and the wind and the smell and the sounds all seem like they're brand new and fresh this morning?
This line in particular puts Faye, Jet, and Spike on a level, because the answer to all of those questions is no. And the chances are that not one of these characters can honestly remember the last time they woke up and felt so fresh and full of life, because that's what time does to a person. And perhaps it's the realization that they all have this in common which allows for the emotional openness we see in the scene. Of course, by the next episode they go right back to bickering and pretending like they aren't all hurting on the inside. But for that one scene, for one brief moment, and without saying a word to one another, they can put their trauma to one side and let those emotional walls come down. Thanks for watching, everyone. This has been Filmbytes. Cowboy Bebop is an amazing show. Do you have a favourite scene or episode from Cowboy Bebop? If so, let me know in the comments below. Until next time, guys.